Hey, DocTesta here, health and wellness consultant for Pine Pollen Superfoods and trained for longevity. So I get this question a lot. What do I do while I'm fasting when I get hungry, when I get hangry, when I get cold? And I mean, it's a legit question. And so the first thing I recommend is continue to fast, right? We get better at fasting and getting fat adapted by doing the process over and over. So if you're intermittent fasting, do it on a regular basis. Do it daily. Do a 12-hour fast if this is new to you. Be done eating 3 hours before bed, eat 12 hours later. And add an hour to it every week until you're comfortable at the level you like to fast at. Is that 15 hours? Is that 16 hours? Where is that sweet spot for you? You got to listen to yourself. So we'll get better at fasting and dealing with hunger and hangry and all this by getting better and more fat adapted. Now, when that doesn't work, sometimes with a longer fast, 3 days, 5 days, water only, fasting mimicking diets, there's other techniques that work well as also. And one of them, my go-to, is to eat salt. And I just grab good pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt, and I'll eat just crunches of it. And just sort of the crunching helps, but it also helps replace a lot of minerals that we lose during the fasting process and can really help take away the hungry, hangry, and cold feelings that we get during a prolonged fast of one kind or another. Sometimes you can eat as much as a half a teaspoon of salt and it'll help. Other things that really can help move the needle with hangry, hungry, and cold is to drink water. So drink warm water or room temperature water, not iced water, something like, just water. Or you can actually do tea. Non-caloric teas are helpful as well. I try not to tease myself with too many flavors when that happens. But that said, a good tea can be really helpful. Just make sure it doesn't have any sweeteners in it or amino acids or anything additional that you don't want to eat. Other helpful tool is, and use this very sparingly and don't use it if you don't have to, with those other two things, is you can eat about 3 of those really delicious Castellavano green olives. Those are olives where olive oil comes from. I would not recommend more than 3. Most of the macronutrient in olives is fat, so it's likely not going to kick you out of your fast, but it's something to use as a backup. Now, I did this once during a 5-day fast. I went home, I got them out, I put them on a plate, and I cut them with a knife and fork because you want to savor these. Now, I would again reserve that for a 3 to 5 day water fast, fasting mimicking diet, and hopefully you don't need to do that. Another good thing is to just get out and go for a walk, right? Get out, move, change your state, change your environment, because sometimes willpower doesn't work, but changing the environment will. And I would get out, nothing strenuous, especially if you're on a 5-day fast, and just get out and move. The last thing I recommend that I like is the journal. Get out your journal and journal, like, what are you feeling? Why are you hungry? I know it's because you're fasting, but usually there's a deeper emotion to this, and we don't always eat because we're hungry. Look, during a fast, it gets boring, right? We like to think about food, prepare food, sit down and eat food. We've got to clean up the food. There's a lot of time that goes into food. And when you're fasting, that's not there. So what else are you looking for? What is the underlying thing that's driving that hangry and that hungry? Is it because you're bored? Is it because you're anxious? Is it because you're stressed? Is it because you're depressed? Is it because you're dealing with something that you'd rather not deal with? And eating is a good way to not deal with things. So I hope these remedies are helpful for you to get through a prolonged fast. I would encourage you that the more fat adapted you become by practicing fasting on a regular basis, intermittent fasting, time restricted feeding, you will get your body more fat adapted and you'll be able to cope with it better. Also, studies show that ghrelin the hormone that helps signal hunger to us gets dampened and more under control the more frequently we fast. So hope these are helpful. If you have questions, post them below, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Have a great day.